Hey guys, sorry if I'm a little late. I was setting up things and checking out a couple of things that are for information for today's live because we got a few things to talk about. Who's here? How's everybody doing? First of all, thanks for joining me. Right, this is cool. Forgive my giant head. I got the camera set up a little different for a reason. Uh, so, um, who else is here? What's up, Snook? How you doing, buddy? Time surfing alien. What's going on? He says, "Hey, guitar spelunkers." I like that, guitar spelunkers. Maybe that's what you guys should call yourselves, right? Spelunkers. Maybe that's what we are. Like I was thinking, cave dwellers, but turns out that's a slur for white people. So okay, we're not doing that. So JMK 2112, how you doing, buddy? I was just checking out the Instagram. You've been posting a lot, man. Thank you. I am so happy to be able to see those pictures. If you're okay with it, I'm going to take us over there in a minute and show everybody what's been going on because you're doing some awesome work. How's everything? Oh, it's cool. So we got some regulars here. We might get a visit from a few other people. I was just over at Trey Shredding's live show, and he said he might come by. I don't know if you know him. If you haven't, check him out. Okay, he's got a cool channel. He's an awesome guitar player, man. I want to take lessons from this guy, and he's very cool. He's very chill, and so he's definitely worth hanging out with. So you might want to check him out. All right. Plus, he's also friends with Scar My Guitar. So, and that's another cool channel to check out if you don't know about them either. So, Michelle, how you doing? Speaking of people who were over at Trey Shredding's live show. How are you, Michelle? Thank you for coming by. Oh, so yeah, so I got a few things planned. Okay, first, I think what we'll do is well, I got a box here, and I got a partially finished guitar here. So we're going to be taking a look at both of those. We're going to do an unboxing for this guy, and just an update on what I got going on here, because I've been doing some stuff with the kit, and it's an awesome kit, guys. They make some nice stuff. If this is indicative of everything else that they got, they make some nice stuff, and I think the prices are pretty good in that regard. You can buy $100 kit and get parts that don't quite fit, or you can get something like this where it seems to be fairly well considered overall, but I haven't even put it together yet. So, well, whatever. I'll save one of my thoughts for the actual video. So, why don't we just take a look at that now, right? So, there we go. Will it focus? Will it focus? Yes. So this is the neck, man. You guys saw the video. Since then, the unboxing video. Since then, well, thanks for coming, Michelle. And yeah, you picked a good time because there's a lot going on. We got a little build going on that's a community build that's just really getting underway. And I'm going to be showing everybody who may not know what's going on what we've been up to. We being Time Surfing Alien, JMK 2112, and myself so far. But we want others to be involved. So this might be something that you and some other people over at Trey's channel might want to get involved in too. Right? You're a mod over there, right? Excuse me. So anyway, so since the unboxing video, I put some True Oil on this. And guys, if you don't know if you haven't used True Oil, it is probably the easiest thing to put on a guitar. All right, well, maybe tongue oil is a little easier because you just rub that in and you forget about it pretty much. This, not quite like that, but this is a really good durable finish, and it is super easy to apply and fast. So it's well worth checking out. I put 3 coats of True Oil on this in the space of an hour. Okay, that's something that on a lot of other finishes might take days. But in an hour, you apply 1 coat, let it sit 15 minutes, apply another coat, and then When you're done with 3 coats, let it dry 2 hours, and then you sand it with quadruple zero steel wool, and it comes out like this. And you'll see more in the video. I'm going to do a video with this footage, and it's going to be about doing the finish. But I don't know if that's going to be part of the build video or not. It might just go. I see myself editing this a lot of different ways for a lot of different situations. Let's just put it that way. So at some point, you're going to see me applying this finish in some video, but it's ridiculously easy. All right, I did the 2 of these 1 o'clock in the morning. I was in bed by 3:30. Okay, so and they're that easy to do. Now I didn't apply any stains, obviously, but why? Look, the back of this looks great. So there was one thing though. If you saw the unboxing video, then you saw me talk about a dirt smudge. It turns out that dirt smudge wasn't a dirt smudge. See that? What I thought was a dirt smudge is actually underneath the veneer. And it's so dark and the veneer is so thin, you could just see it through it. So when I started sanding, guess what happened? It started coming out more. So we're going to have to fix that. But I think the way to do that is probably just make a pick guard. Right here. It'll be funky. It'll go like this. I'll match the angle over here somewhere and follow the curvature of the guitar. And I'm just going to use a wood veneer. I'm just deciding on what to do. Should I do one that looks like this or one that looks like this? Maybe even stain to look like this, or should I just find another veneer? I've been looking around. So anyway, next step is to assemble the guitar and fingers crossed wire it up. So gotta love True Oil. Yeah, True Time Surfing Alien says gotta love True Oil. Yeah, I love it too. Ever since I found it, it is the simplest thing to apply. Why luthiers all across the world aren't using it, I have no clue. Okay, I mean, it's literally, it's a rub-on finish that dries into the touch in about 15 minutes. And then once you apply 3 coats, you put the triple zero on there, or quadruple zero steel wool on there for about 2 minutes, and all of the hairy qualities that happen from the drying process go away, and you have yourself a nice satin finish with just a touch of sheen. If you add 3 more coats and do it again, you'll get something that's a little glossier. And you keep doing that until you got a high gloss. Right? And it's ridiculous how easy it is to use. I want to find out if you can put colors in it, because that would make this like a one-step process. So I like that. Time Surfing Alien says I use it on my guitars, guns, and knives. Okay. I'm gonna, if I ever get to go to your house, I'm gonna approach it slowly. Okay, so Snug says, you said in your video that the bridge holes weren't pre-drilled. Is that going to be tricky or not a big deal? Actually, I don't think it's going to be a big deal because the spot is routed, right? The spot's all routed out. The bridge just sits in there. So it's not going to move around. So if I have to pre-drill some holes, they're going to be in perfect position. And the screws I think that are used to hold this down aren't all that long. So because you only got, that's about an inch. All right, so let me see if I can, there you go. That right there, that's about an inch. All right. My thumb just kind of fits in there snugly. So I don't think so. I think the big thing is just making sure I drill the right type of pilot holes, because I think the screws for this are tapered pretty wide. They're kind of fat and they taper and they're short, but I might be mixing them up with something else. So But I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I think the hardest thing about this kit is going to be the wiring job. That's because I have no clue. So, uh, and I do have a bit of a time crunch. So I don't have all the time in the world. So if I get too flustered with this, I am going to bring it to my buddy and have him finish the job for me. But the goal is for me to get this done, at least partially right. Okay. You know what I mean? And have him check my homework, so to speak. Right. And then, so yeah, I don't think listen, guitars aren't all that hard to build. JMK can vouch for this. All right. I've only built a couple. Everything about us, this is like, it's easier than putting together a bench. Okay. You got 4 bolts for the neck. You got 2 screws here, 2 screws here, 2 screws here, right? A couple of screws for the bridge, which, as I said, is already routed out. So you just drop it in. It's not even like you got to find it and figure everything out and make sure it's perfectly straight. It's actually easier than that. You only got 2 controls and a switch. So you got a simple setup. They even made sure that the pickups are as easy as possible to wire. Okay, because they don't have the pre-wired kits with the ends, with the clips yet. They're working on that. But what they've done is they've just gotten, in the case of humbuckers, you're getting 2-wire humbuckers. You're not getting 4-wire. So that's can be a bit of a downer. But if they're good humbuckers, it's okay. It's just, this is a one-trick pony kind of guitar. But is it really? Because you have this kind of versatility going on here. So even then, it's still fairly versatile, right? And come on. It just looks cool. I love the body shape. It just feels nice. So, yeah, right. JMK is agreeing. Yeah, most of it is straightforward. Right, wiring can get convoluted, but it doesn't have to be one humbucker, one volume. Yes, and you know something, JMK. I was actually going to be picking up I wanted to pick up. They have an Ash double cut junior. Just one P90 in the bridge, one volume, one tone. Right, and I love those guitars. Those are some badass little mothers. Let me tell you, especially if you put the right P90 in there, something around 9K, so it gets a little on the warm side. Gets a night, throw a little fuzz in there. It sounds great, and it's got all that high end too, right? I mean, and ash, yeah, you're right, Michelle. Ash is beautiful wood, right? Excuse me. And yes, JMK 2112. I'm thinking wooden pickguard, but just a veneer. I'll get one with the adhesive on the back. And then, there you go. Right? I'll get one with adhesive on the back, and I just cut it to this shape and make it all kind of go in a line like this. So, and then maybe curl a little here and there on the end. And that's about it, right? Just something to cover up that little blemish. And I'm trying to find something that's figured, or, and it's either this color or this color, or something I could maybe, well, no, I couldn't stain. I don't have anything to stain with right now. But anyway, yeah, so that's the idea. Unless I could get something really, really cool. Like this one guy's got some eucalyptus wood, which is burled. It's got a flame in it, right? And then there's like lines that cut through it. So that pulls the lines, almost like you took a thick gobs of paint and ran a brush through them like that, and got the line, or the latte line, that kind of crap. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought now. So, but yeah, this is, yeah, right. Yeah. JMK thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. Keep it clean. Try something that's going to match this or this. Keep it simple. So I'm looking for sapele or mahogany that might have a little bit of a flame or burl in it to keep it nice looking here, and not do something that's just simple like this, because that'll detract from all this. I want to like work with that. So I'm looking for, I was saying the eucalyptus. It was stained. It's basically, what do you call it? It's like smoked black. And and it's got a little bit of burl in there, and so it would go nice over here with the black hardware. So something like that, or something that matches this more or less, or this more or less, but with some flame in it. So, but yeah. So now, one thing I want to do kind of early on, if you guys don't mind, is I want to do this unboxing, right? And then when there's time, I want to. Well, there will be time. We'll make time. As long as you guys are sticking around, we'll make time. And then I wanted to go over to JMK's Instagram page and show you guys a couple of things. I've already got it up in the browser, so what we're gonna have to do is click over there real quick. All right, but so let me see if I can stay on camera here. I'm gonna turn on another camera so I can get another angle, because the goal is to shoot this and then edit it and add some more stuff and make a full video for next week as well. Kind of like what I did with the unboxing video. So, but yeah, I got in touch with Torsten over at T's Guitars, because I can do that. Suddenly I'm bragging, right? No. Anyway, and I just asked him, hey, why don't you send me another guitar? He's like, okay, no problem. And here it is, like 3 days later. So, all right, so turn the light on. All right. Now let's see the angle here. All right, great. My big head's in frame. All right. So, like I was saying, I got in touch with Torsten over at T's Guitars, and he said, sure, no problem. I'll send you over a guitar. And he sent over, he wanted me to make sure that you guys get to see this, because he wants us to know, he wants everybody to know just exactly what's going on with his guitars when they leave the factory, right? Because it seems like, he sells some of the guitars out of his place, out of his shop here in New York, but those are just the ones that come directly to him from China that he checks. Excuse me. And when he's done with them, he's got to sell them. So he sells them from there. The bulk of them come from another factory in another state, right? But it seems some people are thinking that he sets them up, and he doesn't. He wants people to know that these are set up right before they leave that warehouse and get sent to you, right? They take everything apart, they retape it. You can actually see all the extra tape that's on the back of this box, right? This box has been opened a couple of times. That's why I cut the box open ahead of time, all right? So he wants to make sure that everybody understands that these guitars are coming to you perfectly set up, right? The setup that he does there might be a little bit different because he has a preferred setup, and he makes sure that those guitars go out more or less set to that setting, right? But when they leave his factory with the warehouse, they're leaving set up close to that, and it's a very comfortable setting. So we're gonna see, right? So, and the proof is that the paper strip is still on the strings, right? But let's see how he ships this, okay? Because if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen a lot of guitars come in here and they only come in the box. No bag, no padding, nothing, right? Well, this is a $150 guitar. Actually, it's $145, all right? And it's coming with a gig bag, all right? And it's not just a vinyl sleeve. It's not a raincoat, right? It's padded. This is a solid gig bag. Are there some better gig bags out there? Yes, but you're not paying a lot and you're getting a lot. This is the same kind of gig bag you would get that when I was younger, the guitar stores would have their name put on that they would sell you cheap if you couldn't afford to get a better gig bag. You know what I'm saying? And they're good bags. They're just branded with their name on it. All right. This is that kind of bag. Okay. So All right. Feels nice. So now, what kind of guitar did I get? Well, it's the latest model. It's the latest version of one of his. I don't know if it's his earliest models or it's one of his Strat models. Okay. And here. All right. Inside the bag, it's in a bag. All right. So, yeah, this is like a medium weight bag. So it's not bad. It's good for going to and from your guitar lessons. All right. So, and we got the bar, the tremolo bar, and one Allen wrench. It looks like. All right. We'll keep that with the bag. I put that in the bag. All right. So now, what do we got? A new guitar, because today is New Guitar Day. Oh, yeah. All right. Not bad so far, right? I'm thinking the tuners are ready. I need my glasses. All right. Now, this table's hard, so I'm going to put this down here. So we have a little something. Okay. So right out of the box, shell pink. Nice. Classic color. Maybe not your preferred color, but it's a classic color. And if you got a problem with me having a pink guitar, I don't want to know about it because I like you guys. But yeah, so let's get rid of the paper, right? Silica pack. We got the foam on the switch. Come a little closer. Nice. This guitar, right out of the box, it looks flawless. Okay? I mean, look at that. This is a $145 guitar, guys. And that finish is totally buffed. This is not some satin finish. It's not a black satin finish, right? And it's got the classic S-style look with the maple neck right where it belongs, right? And the tuners, guys, these tuners are 18 to 1. Let me turn it this way. Okay? $145, you're getting 18 to 1 tuners. Not locking tuners, they're just regular tuners, but 18 to 1 ratio. There's only one other brand I can think of that's doing, maybe two, right? Because I haven't had every guitar brand in here, but as I understand it, maybe two brands come with these kinds of tuners, tuners with this ratio on them. All right? Here, take a look at the back. That's just so clean looking. I mean, I don't want to. This is like, it's a beautiful looking guitar, guys. I asked him, look, if you got a shell pink one, send it. And he's like, I got a bunch of those. And I wasn't actually super crazy about picking a shell pink. I kind of wanted one, but now that I got it, I'm feeling like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And it really is. It's not, I don't like the typical Strat colors. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them 1,000 times. This is something that looks nice, clean, classic. It's shiny as hell, right? Now, like I said, let me get my glasses because I want to check out the frets. We got, guys, here. This is 100. Guys, this is probably the least expensive guitar you're going to find that comes with stainless steel frets, ball ends. Can you guys see that? Let me know, please. I'm going to hold this here until I know that you guys can see this. All right. Those are ball ends, stainless steel ball end frets on a $145 guitar. Okay. This guitar has everything you need to go right now. Okay. The one thing on this guitar that may not be perfect, the one thing on this guitar that may not be to everyone's liking is going to be the pickups. And that's actually expected, right? I mean, let's face it. We all have our own taste. So even if a guitar's got really, really awesome pickups, it's still not be the right set. It may not be the right set for us, right? So we're going to change them. We'll change them in an $800 guitar, a $2,000 guitar, a $200 guitar. It doesn't make a difference because it's about the tone. So the one thing that he let, I don't want to say slide, but the one thing that he let be something of a little more likely to be of the level of appeal that someone would say, oh, I got to change those. You know what I'm saying? It's not that these are, I don't want to say these are bad pickups because as I understand it, they're not. I'm going to try to plug this in a minute and we're going to hear it. So, but the idea is that these are ceramic pickups, but they're not bad ceramic magnet pickups, right? On his other STs, they have that. I believe they have Alnico 5 magnets. Maybe not. There's ST2, I think has them. Maybe not the original ST1, but this one is an upgraded version of the original ST1. Basically, he's made sure that this has the ceramic pickups in here because he knows that people want a guitar to mod. Okay, and this is that guitar. You don't have to change a thing except the pickups because that's a personal preference thing, and that's it, right? That's it. It's not about buying a $145 guitar and saying, oh, I got to change this. I got to change the tuners. I got to change the pickups. I got to change this bridge. It's crap. No, none of this is crap. It's all really good. And the profile on the neck is feeling like that classic Tees profile. It's not like everybody else's, right? It's more like, I'm shooting for the other camera for a second. So it's more like they took the classic C, the modern C, and widened it from front to back, from fretboard to the back, by about a millimeter. Just a millimeter, but that puts the back of the neck in a different spot in your hand, and it feels a little different. And then it feels a little more personal because it doesn't feel like the other 3 guitars you got on the wall that are all from different brands, but all have the exact same neck. You know what I mean? So I think that's awesome. So let me plug this in, but only for a minute because I have my landlady right downstairs. So I got to find the cord. Here's the cord. And moment, guys, one moment here. While I do this, I have no strap here, so I'm gonna have to do it standing up over there. I hope this reaches. Well, it should, because I need to bring it out anyway, so you guys can hear it. Uh-huh. So, and oh, you know what? It might be a good idea for me to have a way of checking the tuning as well. So, sorry I haven't been checking on the chat, guys. I'll get there in a minute. All right. And we can talk about anything you want to talk about. That. All right. No, put it this way. Put it this way, RJ. Come on. So now this guitar was supposedly set up and tuned before it left the factory. And I could tell you right now, string height is fairly low. Without checking, I'm going to guess about 1.5 millimeters or so, 1.75 millimeters, which is a little high for me personally, not very high. I've played them like that, but it's a general setup. You know what I'm saying? It's not meant to be specific to everybody. It can't be. So they give you a setup that will appeal to most people and make the guitar feel playable right out of the box. And then you can personalize it from there. That's kind of the point, right? So let me turn this puppy on. All right. All right. So we're in D. So yeah, TSA, you're right. Pickups are always a personal preference, right? Because no two guitars sound exactly the same. So you can put the same set of pickups in two different guitars, thinking they'll sound exactly the same, and they won't. Yeah, this guitar wasn't in tune. Now, every time I get one string in tune, it pulls the others a little slack. So I got to keep going back. So sorry, guys. These tuners feel nice, though. The heads feel really nice. Every one of them feels nice and smooth. So, oh, Snug, are you asking me to ask Trey when he's going to start giving lessons? Maybe. Why does this feel so tight? All right. So anyway, guys, I always expect the high E string to snap before it gets there. Can you guys hear this guitar at all? I only have my lapel mic. All right, Time Surfing Alien says a little. All right, so let me try and turn it up. Wow, this thing sounds so low. So what tuning? What am I here? That was the problem. It was set for the acoustic guitar. Out of tune again. Strings are new. All right. Clean tone. All right. Is this amp doing it for you at all? I mean, can you guys hear this? I know this is supposed to be a 15-watt amp, and it doesn't get loud at all. So, but basically, out of the box, this guitar is playable. It just wasn't in tune. I'm not sure why that is, but the setting, the setup is perfect. I got to tell you though, these pickups don't sound bad at all. I like them. All right. They sound all right. They sound good. There's really no reason to get rid of these. These are good. They're proper ceramic magnet pickups. This is 2. You got some of that snap. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, right? Middle. Sounds nice. This guitar sounds really good. Position 4 now. See, now it's got a little more bottom end. We got a little more mid range in here. This thing has no mids. And that's with the treble all the way up and the mid scooped. So now let me give this a little more mid range. Let me put it on 5. Try and keep things a little more balanced. I'll put it on the neck. That sounds nice. A little more strumming. Back on 4. 3. That's got punch. See, 4 don't. It's got that scooped bottom end. 2. See, 2 and 4 are a little lower because they're basically parallel or something like that. And then back on the bridge. Yeah, I'm impressed. Right out of the box, I'm impressed with this guitar. I just had to tune it up. It was fairly far out of tune, and I guess that can happen, you know. But right out of the box, the guitar's playable, and it sounds great. $145. And guys, don't forget, I got that $5 code. I know it's only $5, but if you use the RJ Cave, is it RJ Cave 5, the number RJ Cave, no S, and the number 5, and go over there and use that code right now, today, tomorrow, you get another 10% off on top of that. So you're getting 10% off on $150. So that's like $145, so $1,450. and then another 5. So you're going to save about $20 on a $145 guitar. So you're going to pay about $125, $126 plus tax and get it shipped to you for free. This is a really good guitar, guys. Well worth that. I mean, seriously, no joke. I've given guitars positive reviews that were right around that price range that don't hold a candle to this thing. I'm telling you, it's really good. Anyway, I'll stop being a salesman now and put it down, and we'll move on to something else. Because if I don't stop, I won't stop playing. I really am enjoying it that much, and I'm not a Strat guy. I really like this. Nice, Torsten. Thank you. So be sure to look for the full review for this guitar coming soon. All right. Nice. All right. So we've discussed the guitar. We've discussed the kit. Now, sorry, evidently, I got wires all over the place. I'm hitting. So, let me catch up with you guys here a little bit in case I missed anything. Man, I'm loving this guitar. Seriously. All right, so let me see what we have here. Yeah, JMK, the frets definitely look nice on this guitar. Guys, it really, I don't know how he's doing it. At that price, I don't know how he's doing it, right? Excuse me. At $250 for the HD, I get it. I mean, it's still a phenomenal price, but it's in that ballpark. You know what I'm saying? With things that are doing the same thing. This is doing all that at $100 less. Great job, Torsten. I swear to God, this is a phenomenal little guitar. And I really am digging the pink. I think I've just gotten so far away from wanting black guitars that anything else will do. But I really am digging this pink. It's very cool. What can I say? There's a few classic colors I like. My Gibson colors of choice are like a cherry red and pelham blue with preferably with metal flake. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Time Surfing Alien. This guitar is a lot nicer looking than the Fenders that are selling on Amazon right now for $120. That's not even the competition, right? Because some guys are reviewing those and saying that they're really good, solid guitars for $125, and I'm sure that overall they are. But others are saying that the big thing is they don't sound like Strats, right? Because they have cheap pickups at that price point. Amazon's got to make money, the seller's got to make money, and Fender's got to make money, and the factory has to make money. You know what I'm saying? So, what are you getting, right? Here you got a guy who's spending money to make sure that he's getting really top quality labor. He's just found a place to get really good labor, relatively inexpensive, right? And he's putting out these phenomenal guitars. So I'm just looking forward to seeing more from T's guitars, because I think this is just a start, and I'm gonna have to start pushing Torsten to get a hard rock, heavy metal guitar out. And you guys want a hollow body, right? I know some of you guys like hollow bodies. Right? Who wants a 335? You know, but this brand is really it really represents its owner. So you know it's always gonna do that, right? So anyway. This is AKA Snug. Yes, that's a good question. Snug is asking no. T's bass when? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to ask him if he's gonna do a bass. I think he might not do one right away. Guitars sell more than basses generally, but I think at some point he's gonna have to, right? And so I'm sure he'll do a P bass. If he gets enough interest, I'm sure he'll do a P bass, because remember, he's setting up his models by hanging around on Facebook groups and making and asking people, you know, and hearing what they have to say in these groups. So it's all that's what it's all about. So JMK, you mind me going over to your page? I was just over there, and I'd like to. While we still have some people in here, I want to let them know because, guys, it's time to share with everybody. All right, thank you, JMK. Uh, one of the earlier live shows, I gave Time Surfing Alien a guitar. Okay, I have to send it out. It's still at the shop. My buddy got sick, by the way, Time Surfing Alien, so he hasn't done anything with that guitar or the other one. But he's back at work. I expect it'll be done soon and on its way. But back to what I was saying. What was I saying? So, um, hollow body, then bass, then T's, amps. Seriously, I forgot my train of thought. It's because I had seizures as a kid. It's like they say we have like 8 things that we all remember, and then we forget. Like I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that, and you get 8 things in your head, and then if you try a ninth, the first one goes out the window, right? Because you got no more room in the room, and then the first one's got to go out the window. But for me, it's like 6 because I had seizures as a kid. So, um, but so right, we were talking. Okay, so right, so all right, thank you, Time Surfing Alien. Just by posting, you reminded me. So yes, so during this live show, uh, I gave Time Surfing Alien the guitar. That's where we were, and he decided that he wanted to start a new build, and so he volunteered a body. This started up a conversation between me, Time Surfing Alien, JMK, and whoever else was in the room at the time. It wasn't a lot of people. Yeah, I know what happens, Das Faust. True. But in this case, we ended up finding out that I have formerly worked with a company that helps autistic individuals. And TSA has someone in his family. He's got autism in his family, somewhere along the line. And JMK has a history of working with people in the field and has personal motivation as well, and personal interest in autism as well. Your daughter, Time Surfing Alien? Well, then that's even more personal. I didn't really want to get too much detail, but I didn't actually remember. I was thinking niece. But anyway, so it went from Time Surfing Alien saying, "Hey, I've got a body, let's do a build," to JMK saying, "I'll paint it," to all of us saying, "Hey, we have this, um, we have this connection." And yeah, see there, JMK has his personal connection. He's mentioned it now too. So, not I had seizures as a kid. It's a different thing, but it's something that allows me to relate as well. And plus, I worked in the field, so um, we decided. It was decided. I shouldn't say we decided. It was decided. The group decided that we would do an autism build, and not just any autism build. We're doing a Frankenstrat with variant colors. Okay. And here, rather than me sit here and tell you what it is, I'm going to set up the window and window so you guys can see what's going on. Okay. So let me set that up. Okay. All right. So this is part of our conversation. Okay. Uh, all right. As I understand it, in JMK, you can let me know. You can correct me, please, because you're the artist here. Um, Instead of the red, white, and black Frankenstein strat, we're infusing the colors blue and yellow as stripes in the Frankenstrat. Is blue going to be the base? Oh, I guess it is, right? Okay. So basically, it's going to be a color variant. And JMK is the artist on it. So he actually knows all the details. But this is just one pick. I'm going to skip to another one. All right. Here we see he's actually done the pick guard, which I was a bit surprised with because I was thinking I was going to do that, but no, and not. I'm not at all offended or anything. I'm happy because he can match the colors perfect, and it looks great. And you can see here we got the yellow with the blue. Right, and here I'm going to go to his page. Give me a moment, okay? And where am I? Where are my posts here? Hmm. Okay. I thought I had it. What the hell? Sorry it's taking so long, guys. Am I getting this wrong? All right, here we'll go. We'll go. Oh, come on. Is that you? Yeah. That's why. JMK. That's it. All right. Found you. All right. Why am I not seeing the picture? Oh, all right. Hold on. Let me bring you over to the other one. I had to find it. Okay. All right. Can you see this one? Okay. So, so the red is the final coat. Is that and that's going to be the classic Frankenstrat red, and then what'll be left will be the blue and yellow stripes. All right, cool, cool. So this is going to be pretty badass when it's done. All right, on that same front, anyone who wasn't here last week, I've been in touch with the assistant director of fundraising on my old job, which happens to be one of the larger agencies that deals with autism in New York State. They actually get funding from the Board of Education and all this other stuff. So uh, they are one of the places. They are one of the like two or three companies to go to get this stuff done and have it be seen as a big deal. Okay, and when this guitar is done, and I want it done 2 months before it's needed, just in case, because I'm sure they're going to want. Once they see this, I think they're going to want to promote it. Um, it's going to. I forgot. I did it again. So, uh, yeah. So they're going to want to promote it. It's going to be at. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself because I forgot where I was. So this is going to go to auction. Okay, The auction is going to be next July. I have no other information than that. I don't have to get in touch with them until January of next year. That's when they start planning this. And by then, I want to be able to tell them that this is done or almost done, and I want to be able to send them pictures and all that. This is a fundraiser that's held in it's held in the most high-end golf course on Staten Island, and it's one of the most high-end ones in the city. So uh, lots of big name people are going to be there. I expect maybe even the mayor and stuff like that to be there. So this is a big deal. Yes, Time Surfing Alien is right. We're going to be accepting donation of parts or tips in the live shows, or whenever you watch a video, do a super thanks. All that is going to go to parts. I'm going to, once I have the body here, I'm going to start trying to get in touch with people at places like Geiger for parts. And but what I can and can't get is going to determine all the donations we're going to need from other people. So if anybody wants to donate to the fund to help this, it's greatly appreciated, because I'm broke. We really do need to get the money to do this, right? We have time, not all the time in the world, but I got plans. And one of those plans is to have a custom knob made with the puzzle piece on it for Autism Speaks. And that's not going to be cheap. It's not like I can go to China and have them make this and sell it to me for $4. This is going to cost in the neighborhood of $100, $75 to $100. Is not out of the question. I have my personal PayPal account, and so if you would want to do something there, you can hit me up at my email, Michelle. Thank you, Snug. That's awesome. I have my email is in the header of my channel page. If you go over there, you just click on that, and you can send me. I'll send you my personal PayPal, and if you want to send it as a friends and family thing that they have, so there's no fees, that would be great. I promise you, whatever money I get from you is going to absolutely go towards this. I'll put it in an envelope. I'll put it in an envelope and hold on to it if I have to. It's gonna, everything that comes in from the channel is gonna go to this. All right. Yeah, absolutely. If you want all of it to go to a donation, the PayPal is the way to go. For now, I'll try and figure out some other way to make it more RJ's Cave official. You know what I'm saying? I did not think about doing PayPal. You asked, so right now it's got to be my personal one. But I will try and figure out something for the future. Right, you're right. TSA, you're right. No need to give YouTube any of it. All right. Thank you, Michelle. That would be awesome. I have made some decisions on what this has got to be, because we're going to be selling this to people who don't necessarily play guitar. As a matter of fact, it's almost assured that 95% of the population that's going to be at this thing has never even seen a guitar, right? So this guitar has to make sense to them as much as be the art and the piece that it is, right? The statement that it is. So a couple of things that are going to be unique to this guitar, I think is going to be the pickup in the neck. I'm going to have working, okay? And in the middle is where Eddie put the switch, because he didn't have enough wire to put it in its normal place, so he just put it in the middle. Well, I'm going to be putting that switch, unless you guys freak out on me and tell me otherwise. You guys can tell me you guys have every right to tell me what to do here, okay? But and I will listen. All right, you know what I'm saying? This is a group, but the pickup, I want the pickup to work. I'm going to put the switch. I have a reason for this, so hear me out. Where the switch goes, excuse me, I'm pointing like you guys can see me. Where the switch goes in the middle pickup spot, I'm going to put a medallion. Okay. I want to put a medallion that's going to be, I forget, there's two saints that come together on a medallion for autism. One is for one because they each have a specific thing that they are saints of that have to do with the mind, and together they both kind of cover autism as a whole. So I got to figure out a way to do it, but I want to put a medallion of the two of them in the center of the middle pickup spot. So it's still going to look like there's that circle from the switch there, but it's not going to be the switch. Okay. It's going to be the medallion instead. And the switch is going to be in its traditional place. Okay. I'm thinking Eddie only had a volume control that said tone. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to do the puzzle piece. I want to make it a little more functional because to the people who buy this, it's got to be functional, right? So I'm thinking put a kill switch in it too. And since we only have the one control, we'll make that where the kill switch goes. I've done that a couple of times on the channel. It could be the signature channel thing on it or whatever. I don't know. But if you guys don't like that idea, then just say so. All right. And I won't put that in there. We'll leave it as a regular tone control. We'll just get a nice CTS 500K pot and be done with it. Now, I was thought about this. The bridge on Eddie's, he's got a Floyd, right? Except he didn't have a Floyd in the beginning. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, okay? Because I am by far, I am not an Eddie historian in the least, okay? But his guitar the paint was still wet, the pickup was just wired, and he had to leave for the club, right? The 1971 quarter. You'll have to refresh me on that. I was thinking about the hooks though, the screw hooks. So we got to do that too. Eddie ended up with a Floyd Rose because he met Floyd, the guy who made the Floyd Rose, right? So, but this one is set up for a standard 6-screw tremolo, which is what Eddie would have had on the guitar on day one, right? When he got the record deal. So it's perfectly fine for ours to have the 6-screw tremolo on there. I want it to be either gold or that rainbow color. But if it's only going to be the rainbow color with the gold and the blue in it and the red, a little this, if I could find other parts that do that as well. Otherwise, I want everything to be gold on this guitar, right? Because the gold is going to go with the yellow and all that. And then the blue pieces are going to complement the blue paint and all, you know what I mean? It's going to pop. It's going to look great, right? And we don't dress it up and make it look super pretty. JMK is going to give it a little bit of a light relic, so it looks the part. Now, I have two necks. I am going to be giving a neck for this guitar. I have two necks. I have one with an ebony fretboard, which would be a good addition to our guitar. But Eddie's guitar had a maple fretboard, and it almost always had a maple fretboard. There are pictures of him having a rosewood fretboard on neck on the guitar at one point, but for the majority of the time, it's always had a maple fretboard. So that would technically be more the thing to do, and I have both. All right, but when it comes time for me to make that decision, I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to ask you guys, and we'll vote on it then. All right. By the way, I got to give a little love to Snug for the super. Love you, buddy. Thank you very much. Right? Yeah, because you got to remember, this is Frankenstein, man. So this, right? JMK said he even had a Dan Electro neck at one point, right? So I want to do. So we're going to end up doing a bunch of things that are both a little forward, a little from day one, a little bit from like what they call Frankenstrat now when they make the new ones on the EVH, and a little bit autism. And I think we're going to end up with something that's unique and everybody in that place is going to want. You know what I'm saying? And I am stoked. I am going to be writing a speech. They want me on. They're going to give me time on the dais, and bro, I am going so far out of my comfort zone to make sure we nail this, guys. We got to get this done. All right, because if the time to fail is now, right? once we get to January, that's it. That's it. There is nothing but success. All right. And we're going to do this. This is, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that this is a success. And I want everybody tell everybody about what's going on the channel. Make them all subscribe. Guys, you got to see this. We got to support this guy because he's giving this to autism, whatever. The more people that are subscribed to the channel, the more people that end up seeing these videos, because those numbers help with the algorithm. All of it does. So, yeah. So let me get out of this now. Yeah, I'm. You know what? Time surfing alien, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, time surfing alien. I've had time to think about it. I've actually got like 3 beginnings of a speech. We're already up here. I'm going to do a video about everything that we did to this guitar, all the parts, all the differences, everything. That's going to be included as part of the package. We need to find somebody who does custom gig bags or custom cases, right? Who would be willing to volunteer their time or volunteer a case. I'm going to go to Glary because I know they make some decent cases that are relatively inexpensive, and with my numbers, I think I might be able to get something from them. So I'm going to ask them if to donate a case, if nothing else, because the more we can do to present this, the better it's going to do. You know what I mean? You know, if we just bring the guitar up there and we do $500, yeah, okay, great, we did $500. No, I want to do $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 with this thing. I want this thing to do well. I want them to think that they need to have us come back every year, right? And I want other places, other organizations to find out what we did here and want us to do something for them. All right. I used to watch a lot of Orange County Choppers and Gas Monkey and all that. And as soon as you start doing good things like this, the phone should start ringing. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, we can do things like this. You know, yeah, I wouldn't mind this being an annual thing, or even a multi. I don't want to sound funny, but ailment. You know what I'm saying? Like we do these with different. We try to support different organizations that are trying to do good and need help. You know what I'm saying? And when they have fundraisers, you know, offer services. You know, if we can show that we made a couple of guitars as a community that only cost $500-$600 to make, but garnered $5,000, you know, maybe they'll come to us and say, you know what, we want one for our fundraiser. You know, we're not asking you to come with one. We're asking you to make one for us to sell, you know, or stuff like that. Who knows? JMK, if you're down, that's awesome, because I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to take advantage of a guy who does work like you do. But I would. If this becomes you would be the obvious first person to start asking to do stuff like this if something happens. So at least keep your eye on your Instagram for me to ask you. So yeah, I want this to be a success, not just because I want this channel to do well. That's a selfish reason. I want this to be a success because it's going to make me feel good just knowing that that we had success and that we've done something good for somebody. You know what I mean? Uh, that's going to feel good in itself. Seeing this endeavor become a success is going to help that. You know, it's going to make me feel that much better because all this good stuff is happening, for different reasons. You know, all the different good coming from different angles, right? Yeah, group projects for the greater good, you know. And I'm down. You know, I'm already thinking next year we do a Bumblebee with black and blue, right? Time surfing alien, what do you got? Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know we could do that. So, yeah, so And JMK, it's very cool watching you do this process, because it seems like you're just painting out the whole thing, taping over some stuff to keep the color, painting over everything for the next color, taping over to keep the color, painting the final color on. That's, oh, that's so easy. But I wish I had the space. But what else, man? What else? There was other stuff. Oh, yeah, we spoke about the bass into a guitar, right? Yeah, that's being worked on. My buddy, he was sick for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, but he's gotten in touch with a friend of his who's a real pro with wiring, because I have such a pain in the ass idea. And he's going to try and get it done in the next couple of days. And then along with that, he'll be finished with your guitar, Two-Time Surfing Alien. And like I said, I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. I got plenty of room on my credit card now. So, what's that in reference to, Time Surfing Alien? Red would stand out more. We mean like in my Bumblebee reference? I'm not sure. So, yeah, and I think, yeah, man, this has been cool. I think we got a lot to talk about. We did a lot in this video. Don't forget, the red. So yeah, I don't disagree with the idea that red would stand out more at TSA, but the thing is they use it in blue, and blue's kind of the color for at least that organization that created that symbol. So I think we got to go with that for this one. It might be worth it in the future if we do another one. It might be easier then to do something a little more creative with it, because then we can at least say, hey, we did one in blue. We wanted to try a different paint job, and then with that paint job, this color works, something like that. But you're not wrong about red though, because you see a lot of red in my thumbnails, because it's the color. Yeah. Yeah. Well, JMK, I think just do the puzzle piece in blue, if that's what you're saying, because I'm seeing good. It'll be part of the red layer then. Yeah, I think they'll prefer it in blue. I think it'll sell better to them in blue. But I don't disagree. I mean, if it was formed out of the stripes in the red, that would be cool, or something. I don't know. Yeah, I only say that. I only kind of stick to that because I have a fear that we get all this done perfect, right? And if we get something that is just a little too different for them, then it's going to alienate them from the piece, And we want it to do well. So I think at least for this one, blue. Once they see how awesome we are, and we come back and do another one, I think we'll have a little more carte blanche. We can do whatever we want. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like the safest thing to make sure that this sells well is to do the right shape puzzle piece and do it in blue, right? Because it's like two sides that has the things that stick out, and two sides it's recessed, right? So something like that. Yeah, please, if you don't mind, do it as good as you can. Yeah, do it like that, but you don't need to do that color, right? Because that little color on the tail of it would be too confusing, right? We talked about that, so I think that still stands, but yeah, that blues, you picked a good blue. It's a nice blue, and I think that'll work great. So I'm looking forward to this, or even if it was a little bit of a lighter blue, but you don't have to. That would just be too much, right? So yeah, if you got a blue that looks just like it, that's perfect. Perfect. So yeah, I think anything else that you want to do is perfectly fine. I think, you know what I mean? I think that's one of those items that they're going to recognize, and if it's not spot on, it's not going to sit well, But so, but yeah, dude, and you are doing such a good job with this, and I personally am so appreciative that you're doing this. Okay, I want you to understand that when I say this, I mean it. Thank you very much for what you're doing. I mean, it's just not, it's these days people don't do this. You know what I mean? So I really do appreciate you doing this, and I'm sure TSA does as well as everyone else. So thank you with that. And it's getting late, guys. I know some of you got to go. Yes, TSA, you're right, JMK. TSA deserves some gratitude too. He's the guy that started all this, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And if I get the opportunity to tell the story the way I want to tell it, which is to include everybody who's had a part in it, in the telling, I don't know how much time they're going to give me when the speech day comes, but I want to mention everybody. And when if I get to tell it the way I want to, Time Surfing Alien is the spark that started it all, and he's going to get all that credit. And you deserve TSA. You deserve that credit right now as well. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you, thank you. And anybody else who's going to donate as well, okay, in the future, thank you. Look for the videos once I get it. I'm gonna make videos, one or two at least, to try and get donors. And I'm going to be talking about it in every video as well. So uh, I just want you all to know. So that's going to be happening. And I think, guys, with that, it's time to go. We're almost at an hour 20 here. Michelle, you've been here since the beginning. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate it. And I am so glad you want to get involved. And anyone else who's just chilling and who's here, thank you too. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget, subscribe and all that. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. So, guys, you've all been awesome. I've been RJ. Until the next one, I love you all. You guys take care. Have a good night.